Hi everyone, my name is Dani Coble and I'll be talking about again why the United Nations is considered an effective tool in human rights. Many of you are arguing that the United Nations is not considered an effective tool in the protection of human rights across the world. Those of you who are arguing against it are saying that the United Nations does good, but they're kind of seen as more third-party figure. However, while the UN can be seen that way, what most are missing out is that it's really those organizations that are a part of the UN that are doing that humanitarian work and helping people. The UN itself is made up of these main organs, which are the General Assembly, the Security Council, the Economic and Social Justice, the Trusteeship Council, the International Court of Justice, and the UN Secretariat. Those were all established in 1945 when the UN was founded. However, there are these funds, programmes, and special agencies that are within the UN system as well, which are unofficially known as the UN family. It is made up of the UN itself and other many affiliate programs, funds, special agencies that all have their own membership, leadership, and budget. The programmes and funds are financed through voluntarily rather than assessed contributions, while the special agencies are independent international organizations funded by both voluntary and assessed contributions. So some of those funds and programmes that exist that have that United Nations name are the Development Programme, the Environmental Programme, Population Fund, Human Settlements Programme. A really popular one that everyone knows is UNICEF. It works in 190 countries and territories, and they're dedicated to saving the lives of children and defending their rights and helping them reach their potential starting from childhood all the way to early adulthood. They offer food, water, medicine, pretty much any sort of life-saving resource they can. Some of the special agencies are the Food and Agriculture Organization, the International Monetary Fund, the International Labor Organization, the International Telecommunication Union, the World Health Organization, the World Meteorological Organization, the World Bank, and there's countless others as well. So the UN itself is actually considered to be the most human rights organization you can find. They even have a Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And it was established in 1948 and it was drafted by a bunch of representatives from different legal and cultural backgrounds from all regions of the world. It's a common standard of achievements for all people and nations. It sets out, for the first time, fundamental human rights to be universally protected, and it has even been translated to over 500 languages. And they also don't only stop there. The Convention on the Rights of the Child is considered the most rapidly and widely ratified international human rights treaty in history. And this is the first human rights treaty that has been signed globally that focuses on children's lives specifically and gives them a voice, as before when they were just seen as charitable cases or just not having any rights at all. So the UN itself also shows you in its ways how it's contributing to the lives of people around the globe by having what they call the UN card. The UN card gives you 10 actions that the UN is showing in quantifiable terms every year. So this is the 2018 edition, and I'll just read you off a few of what they've said here. They have already provided food and assistance to 80 million people in 80 countries. They supply vaccines to about 45% of the world's children, and they have helped save 3 million lives a year. They work with 195 nations to keep the global temperature rise well between 3.6 Fahrenheit or 2 degrees Celsius. They keep peace with 104 peacekeepers in 14 operations around the world. They protect and promote human rights globally through 80 treaties and declarations. And they use diplomacy to prevent conflict, and assists some 50 countries a year with their elections. Some other important notes here is that the UN, the term human rights is mentioned 7 times within the UN's founding charter, making the promotion and protection of human rights a key purpose and a guiding principle of the UN. I think what some people miss out is that we are looking at the UN itself as a whole, which are made up of all these leaders, and again, that General Assembly that we talked about before. But what I think people need to remember is that these agencies, these funds, the UNICEF, these treaties, declarations that have been signed in, these are the ones really doing that humanitarian work and working for it. The UN itself is made up of billions of different parts. I think billions is a slight exaggeration, but multiple different parts. And that is why it is an effective tool of human rights, because it has multiple tools within it that assess and protect different areas of human rights.